What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of I Know What You Watched Last Friday. I'm Brian,
I'm John.
and today we are covering 2004's Saw,
I
directed by
think it's
James
more like
Wan.
2004 Saw.
Saw.
Yes, the first Saw.
2004's Saw.
Yes, we're covering the first Saw. Beforehand though, you probably noticed our mics sound a little better.
Cha cha cha.
Yeah, we did eventually got. Yeah, eventually we did get new mics.
We did. We did.
So hopefully they sound better. Again, any feedback, let us know.
Talk to us. We do an awful lot of talking, and we know there's a lot of you listening. We
Yeah,
have been paying attention to the numbers.
yeah, our channel as of now has 72 subs right now, with gotten like 6,000 users or something, which is like, oh my god.
Yeah. It's insane. It's insane. The amount of love and support and how many people will actually take the time to listen to us.
Yeah, so hopefully, no, hopefully more people will listen to this now because you actually sound better.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, I know it's still sometimes for me, it's hard to understand me because I have such a deep voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's why. So I'm saying hopefully works a little better.
It definitely. I think we hit the jackpot with this one.
Yeah, and again, once later down the road, we'll probably upgrade again. But for the money, these mics are actually pretty good. I don't know why I didn't think of them earlier. I was literally watching somebody do an interview with them. I was like,
Oh. 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 Oh.
yeah. So we have like a much simpler system now. So
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely taking the steps into the right direction. Um, Also, bear with us. We happen to have been a little bit on a. We did take like a little bit of a break.
yeah, we took a little hiatus for personal reasons. Yeah,
Yeah, life happens. We're busy. Things happen, but you know what? We still take the time to remember you folks and to remember our undying love for horror films.
yeah. So it's not like we've been thinking about this for months now, and we're just like going back and forth on what movies to watch and when to record and so just
Yeah. So if any of you listeners out there have any requests as to something you want to hear us cover and talk about,
hmm
um, feel free to comment on our YouTube page.
yeah, comment or if you know us personally, you can just tell us too.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's just hop right into the first Saw movie.
The first Saw film.
We are gonna try to do the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Might not be like our Friday the 13th where it's like back to back because I've never seen them.
Mhm.
Like I've only ever seen the first one, and I'm not the.
For now.
For now, I will watch them eventually. But
For now. Evil mustache twirl. For now.
These movies, for some reason, just growing up, I always had this like fear of them.
The body horror.
Just yeah, I don't like torture movies, so we might not ever do Hostile.
You guys gonna do hostile? All the comments. All the comments are gonna be hostile. What if they did that though? If we went.
Okay, if there's an overwhelming majority,
there's a list where it's like every other one is literally the movie you don't want to do.
I know. I know how the internet is. But yeah, I mean, eventually.
Someone's gonna even hate comment and be like, "Watch all three." Then we'd be like, "Okay, block."
Yeah, I mean, eventually. But we have some other franchises we want to get into, especially like Halloween.
Yes.
The Scream franchise we might do next.
Yes, yes. That was another thing. During our little break, we both happened to catch the new Scream
Yeah, we
film.
saw Scream 6 recently. Not to like date it, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
If you haven't seen it yet, I would say it's worth the money. It's
it
worth
was,
the
yeah,
prices that you have to pay in theaters these days.
it was, yeah, 'cause I had a whole, I went with a group of friends. It was fun.
You got to go with a group of friends. Where did you guys end up going?
Can't remember.
Nice. That's where two of my buddies went with Devin that I work with and my buddy Tom.
Okay.
And it was just us three in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a Monday night.
That makes sense.
Monday night, and yeah, it was great. Went in there, and first off, when we went in there, like it started, and we're like, "Why is everything hazy?" Oh shit, it's in 3D. Hey, dude, we didn't get our glasses, so I ran. Oh god, dropped my phone. So
Don't mind that.
ghost face comes up. Hello, you've said too much. But
Saw trumpets.
what's that?
Saw trumpets. We can do that now. We can actually do that now.
We can do that now.
This won't be ironic either.
Yeah, so it was just the three of us, and it was a great time. It was almost like a private screening. Felt like we were in like a like it was there was debauchery abound. It was fun. It was fun. Yeah. So we'll cover that. We'll talk more about Scream then when we get to those. Um. So yeah. If you haven't seen Scream 6 yet, urge you to do so. If not, and you want to wait until you're able to rent it, that's fine too.
Run it, stream it, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Rent, stream, rent. Who's gonna rent these days?
Redbox still a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I keep forgetting that. Like I don't have
When
to
you go
use,
to when you go to a gas station, you're just sitting there.
I keep
looking
forgetting
at you.
like that's not a mic anymore. So I'm like I don't have to be so close to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know.
We have
It's weird, not like
I know.
so.
Because we have so back when we had these like, clip-on interview mics now,
Mhm.
and they're like on us. So I'm like, there's a mic in front of us that we used to use.
Mhm.
Now I'm just like, I don't need. I can actually I can lay back.
Yeah, we can somewhat be a little bit more relaxed and kick
Mhm.
back than usual. Um. So yeah, so we decided to cover 2004's Saw, directed by James Wan, which was actually his first movie. And it was written by Lee Winnell. Oh, Winnell. I butchered that last name probably. But yeah, it was written by both Lee Winnell and James Wan. Um, it's pretty much a non-linear narrative, and it revolves around the mystery of the Jigsaw Killer, who basically would test his victims' will to live
Yes.
in a series of games.
Yeah,
Um,
games.
and it usually has something to do with the wrongdoings in their life. It's almost like atoning for your sins
Mm-hmm.
and seeing if you have what it takes to be reborn. Do you have what it takes to survive?
Yeah, because I know some of the traps are like, holy shit. Especially in like the later ones.
Yeah. Yeah, as we go on the later ones, I do respect this franchise for they stuck to their guns and like stuck. They could have
Yeah.
derived from anything at any point, which they tried doing.
Solid space.
Yeah. They tried doing that with the Spiral Book of Saw,
Oh, okay.
and that didn't really play out that well. So now they're going back to
Yeah.
so yeah, Saw 10. If you haven't yet heard, Saw 10 is in the works and should be out by the end of this year, with Tobin Bell returning as Jigsaw.
Nice.
How they go about bringing him back in some way.
Mhm.
If it's gonna go the route that I think it's gonna go, I think it'll work. I think it'll work. So yes, so this film was released in 2004, although it was actually written in 2001. But both Winnell and Juan were having trouble finding producers, people that wanted to produce the script. Excuse me. So they tried to do it in their own country because they're both Australia. So they were told to go to Los Angeles. So in order for them to be able to get the funding and the production that they were desiring, they shot a low budget film of this. Like I'm not sure exactly which scene of the film, but they shot the small seat portion of the film to like give them something to see, to give them like a small taste. And in 2003, producers from Evolution Entertainment, they were attached and they formed a horror genre production label, Twisted Pictures. So Twisted Pictures was actually born to make the Saw films, so to say. But yeah, the film was then given a small budget and was shot in only 18 days.
Wow.
18 days, especially with the cast that they had too. Like, not a big budget film at the time for its time.
No.
But to have like, I mean, it's not like it's not an ensemble cast. I would consider this an ensemble cast.
Yeah, because there's only like the two main ones.
Yeah, outside of the two main ones, you just have
like 6 characters.
Like 6 central ones. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's very small. Obviously, the two main ones. Obviously, Taylor. Some other people. Yeah, I remember because listening to this, like hearing about this movie growing up, and I was, as I said before, everything to do with the Saw franchise. I just wanted.
Yeah.
Because I hated that.
I was actually 14 going on 15 when the first Saw came out.
That was 6.
Shit. Shit.
You said 2004? Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, it was first screened in January of that year, but then it had its release in the United States on October 29th of 2004.
7.
So you were 7. Shit.
I think, yeah. I was not born in 97.
Yeah.
So, like, growing up these movies, and like hearing about them, I've always said the first one was like the best one. Good thriller. But I always thought, before I watched it, I always thought it literally only took place in the bathroom. I didn't know there was actually an outside thing behind it.
Yeah.
So I watched it. I was like, oh shit.
Do you think it was like that one movie with Ryan Reynolds where he's like buried alive? He's like in a box the entire movie.
Kinda.
Almost like Elevator or like Phone Booth or not Elevator. Wow.
You mean Devil?
Devil. Elevator. Yeah, that M. Night Shyamalan movie, Elevator. You know damn well that's what he called it.
Fucking Elevator. I love that horror movie.
I would love to cover that sometime.
You should.
That was a pretty damn good movie.
Over my shoulder.
Never forget the first time seeing that one, but I digress. Oh yeah. Yeah, my brother had seen it before me and told me to watch it. That's probably the only horror film that my brother had seen before me. I mean, not to say he doesn't like horror. I know that he likes horror. I just don't think I don't know if he watches like a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely doesn't digest it like I do.
Oh yeah, I think everybody does. Again, as you've said before, I go in these movies as, I won't say a critic, but as someone who just likes to watch movies.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, homeboy likes to digest everything.
I pick it apart. I don't know what it is, but it's just, hey, everybody's got to have a hobby. There's worse things I could be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be, killing people with saw traps.
Yeah, for real. Make the saw traps. I'll make them saw traps. No, I ain't gonna make them saw traps. I would hurt myself in my own.
I know. I was dumb to do it.
I'd be like, okay, so they would have to put their hand here. I'm stuck. Shit. Oh, the timer's going. Damn it.
I can't even call anybody either. Because you're gonna wait the first one.
The tape plays and starts telling you what's gonna happen. Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, man.
Just stop.
OSHA should cover for you by yourself, not if there's 4 people. They wait until there's 4 people to cover your ass. You're just like, oh no, nobody knew that I was doing this but me. Here I am. In a secret place, nobody's gonna find me. Shit.
Oh my god.
Damn it. So, yes. So then Saw was first screened in January 2004 at the 2004 Sundance Film Festival, before having its North American release the 29th of October of that year. And it was screened by Lionsgate. It was, released by Lionsgate. And I always forget that. I even have that in my notes where it opens up and I'm just like, oh shit, Lionsgate. And then for some reason I found myself a little disappointed it was Lionsgate, but then right after Twisted Pictures came up, I was like, there it is, like a good friend picking me up off my feet. But yeah, it was then theatrically re-released on Halloween to celebrate its 10th anniversary, which was October 31st, 2014.
Well, this movie was 20.
Yeah, next year Saw will be 20. But this year, Saw 10. Yeah, so the film, although it wasn't, it was received, it got generally mixed reviews. There was just a number amount of people that hated it as equal to loved it.
Yeah.
If that made any sense to the listener, I just had a stroke too. So
that made sense to me.
So yeah, it definitely was. Here it is. I'm trying to picture it. It's 2004. As far as horror films, not really a good year. It was the early 2000s. Really, all we had so far in the early aughts were, we only had Jason X. This is a year after. This is coming after Freddy vs. Jason. A year after Freddy vs. Jason. It would literally be released a year and a month after. So Jigsaw was one of the last, I think, original killers in the early 2000s. Besides, I don't want to count Jason only because he's there. To me, those guys like him, Michael, Freddy, they're everlasting. They'll always be there.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, so in terms of new, we had the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. We had Jigsaw, Samara from The Ring.
Mm-hmm. You want to count Ghostface?
Again, I would put Ghostface with Jason and Freddy and them. I just mean anything original.
Yeah, Pinhead.
No, not Pinhead. Pinhead I would put with Jason and those. Okay. Yeah, those. I'm talking original from the early 2000s that we got.
Or early 2000s. I'm thinking 90s.
Yeah, I was wondering why I was like, yeah, we had Jason. I was like, yeah, we had Jason X and Freddy vs. Jason. But then when you said about Scream, I was like,
Scream 4.
We would have Scream 3.
Yeah, Scream 1 came out in 97.
Scream 1 was 96. Scream 2,
96.
Scream 2 was 97. And then Scream 3 was 2000. Scream 4 was 2011.
Oh, yeah, it was. Was it 20 years? Not 20. It
It was 11 years.
was 20. I forgot it was that late.
The Scream 5 was 20
I
years
always thought that
after.
was. I don't know. I always thought that was later.
Or not 20 years after. I'm sorry. They really should have been. They should have done something in 2016 for the 20th anniversary. They really should have done something with that. We digress, folks, but
Get off topic really easily.
getting into Ghostface, we promised him Saw.
I know.
So when Ghostface kidnaps Adam, so I guess we'll jump right into it. The film opens up with a photographer. Well, you don't know he's a photographer, but
Now you do.
the film opens and it's under the characters underwater that we're introduced to right away on screen, and as he moves about, he pulls like a plug out of a drain.
Yeah, drain plug and the water starts coming down.
Yep. So we learn that he's in a bathtub,
which is important very later on.
Yes, yes. And I believe that when they wake up, are the lights on? Yeah.
Yeah, lights on.
Yeah, the lights are on when they wake up. I believe that's what wakes him up in the bathtub. It's dark, but then the lights turn on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then he opens his eyes underwater. But anyway, the character wakes up. He's in a bathtub with his ankle chained to a nearby pipe on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera, I loved it. I love the shots, how it sets a tension throughout the whole movie. The whole movie is almost like this manic tension where you're just like, oh shit, like the shaky camera,
mm-hmm.
the shot before it was literally everybody, doing those shots. Just like anybody that nowadays says oh, I have a really great art film, and it's all fucking dialogue because they love Tarantino. But the dialogue actually makes sense in a Tarantino film.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I digress. Anyway, so yes, he wakes up in a bathtub and he looks across from him, and it's revealed that there's another person chained by the ankle to another pipe directly across from him on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And there's also what appears to be a corpse.
Yeah, there's a dead body between them, lying face down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like the corpse had shot himself.
Yeah, there's a gun next to him.
Well, there's a gun in his one hand, and then he has a tape recorder in the other.
Yeah.
So both of the guys, we learn that the guy that woke up in the tub, his name is Adam.
Yes.
And the other guy chained
is Lawrence.
Dr. Lawrence Golden. Carrie Ells, a.k.a. Wesley from Princess Bride. Watch that film after this podcast.
I don't care what time it is. If you're done with it, you better watch it.
Yeah, I don't care. You will watch.
I don't care if you gotta go to work next day.
1989's Princess Bride. Excuse me.
Yeah. I'm just looking over the notes. I'm just like, bro, I took my freaking candy.
Yeah. So when Adam first wakes up and he's just checking himself out, and he's like, the doctor's just like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I woke up in a bathtub. Check yourself for scars, or they took your kidney or something." And Lawrence is just like, "No, you would be in shock. You wouldn't be acting like this, but you would know if something was missing." And then he was like, "Oh, how do you know?" He's a surgeon. "How do you know? Are you a surgeon?" And Lawrence is like, "Yeah, I am." I'm just like thinking to myself, like, Adam just guessed that, shot in the dark. Like, he could have said, like, "Oh, what are you, a doctor?" But no,
Someone said, yeah.
hey, you a surgeon? He was very oddly specific in his guess.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Adam's checking himself, and
Finds the tape
he finds a tape in his pocket.
in his pocket.
How the hell was that tape still good, even if it's been in the water?
It was in a plastic baggie. He took it out of a plastic baggie in his pocket.
As you can tell, I watch this movie.
And then Lawrence had his in his pocket. His was dry.
Man, weird killer got that mixed up.
Yeah. Oh God.
He's gonna ruin the whole thing.
The game just got scarier.
Even I don't know what's going on.
Jigsaw's like, oh shit. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam finds the tape.
They play their tapes. Well, Adam retrieves the recorder.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Which, would you be able to do that? Like, doing it how he did it?
I don't remember.
Like, how he reached, like, he just, like, was tossing, like, random items. Like, at first it was, like, a coat. And then it was
oh, yeah.
Then it was, like, a chain that he used to, like, pull the gun. Or, not the gun, sorry, the tape recorder out of the dead body's hand.
If I had to, it might not take me as long.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably take me a little longer to figure it out.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree. Same. I would be laying there just still like, how the fuck did I get here?
I'm just going to take a nap.
Yeah, I don't even know this guy. Why did he get to wake up in a tub? Well, at least I'm not wet. That sucks. So yeah, Adam. Since Adam has the tape recorder first, he plays his tape, which the tape tells him that he needs to survive. While Gordon's tape pretty much tells him that he needs to kill Adam by 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or his daughter and his wife will be killed.
Mm-hmm.
So then, one of the clues on the tape recorder was, Lawrence plays it back because he says, of course, the choice is yours. And then he's like playing back the tape, listening to it. Adam's talking like an idiot. And Lawrence is like, shut up. And like plays it, and then you can hear Jigsaw like whisper at the end of the message, follow your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, what does that mean? Follow your heart. And then that's when they see the heart painted in the poopy heart on the toilet tank. And Adam, the collegiate photographer that he is, I don't even know if he went to college, but anyway,
just going in.
The dumbass like doesn't go into the tank where the heart is painted on. Instead, he digs around in the shitty looking bowl of the toilet. Doesn't find anything. Lawrence is like, did you find anything? And he's just digging around the shit bowl like, well, there's no solids in here. Dude, take your hand out. It's been like 2 minutes. You know damn well nothing's in there as soon as you put your hand in. Except for the shit that it's in. Yeah. Anyway. And then he goes into the tank where the heart was painted in the first place, which is where I would have checked first because that's where the heart is. And they find the bag with the 2 hacksaws in them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, then they try to cut through the chains.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if you ever used a hacksaw. I know the blades were dull.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're desperate enough, you can cut through a chain.
Oh, it'll take a long fucking time.
It'll take a long time, but if you're desperate enough, take breaks.
Yeah, take breaks. Don't overexert yourself. Yeah. Just remember Rocky throughout your hostage situation.
Yeah, just like
and break out. Feed those two damn turtles from the pet store. Cuff and lick.
He still has this.
He does. But yeah, so they try.
Right. He does try, and then Adam saw breaks.
Yes, and then Adam saw breaks, And then Gordon realizes like he doesn't want us to cut through the chains. He wants us to cut through our feet. And then
I'm like, nah, know what? Nah.
that's when Gordon realizes like, oh shit, like I think I know I think I know who's doing this. And Adam's like, the hell? The hell? Who's doing it? He's like Marty McFly. Doc! Who did this? Anyway.
Oh, geez.
But he tells him that, yeah, he tells him about the Jigsaw killer, who's a serial killer testing his victims' will to survive through lethal traps referred to as his games. Which the only reason Dr. Gordon he reveals that the only reason he knows that is because 5 months before the predicament that they're in, he was once a suspect.
Yeah, for another one.
Yes, he was for I guess like the last game that Jigsaw had put together, which would I guess would be the unofficial. It would be his unofficial. It would be his official second game.
Yeah.
So, like it's revealed that 5 months beforehand, that while Dr. Gordon was discussing the brain cancer of a patient, John Kramer, he was interrogated by Danny Glover's character, Detective Tapp, and his assistant, his partner, Stephen Singh, because they found his pen light at one of the jig sites at one of the jig sites at one of the jig sites. That's just what we call it. One of the jig sites. So yeah, even though they found it, they checked out his alibi and it checked out. They cleared him, and then he before he left, the detective was just like, before you go, there's someone here that like we want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out he's viewing the testimony of Amanda Young.
Yeah, she was a heroin addict.
Yes.
And the only survivor of one of Jigsaw's games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her trap was probably, I'd say, the most iconic one.
Yes, yeah, the bear trap, the reverse bear trap.
Reverse bear trap.
That's right. And I even thought to myself during that scene, even though it's revealed that Amanda was the first, like the first survivor of the games, the first survivor of the reverse bear trap.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what made me think of?
What?
Rob. From Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Like, I know a lot of Robs.
It made me think of Rob, and it made me think to myself, are there any bears?
Any bears?
Are there any bears? So I wanted to do this thing with these episodes from now on, that to keep it going. Rob will never die, even though he died in the only movie he was in, in the least iconic way possible.
I know he died off screen. The funniest way you can die.
We didn't see him, but we knew he was killing him because he's killing me. He's killing me. So I want to ask the listeners, and I want to ask you, Hoovy, do you think there are any bears present in the Saw film? Could there be any bears
in the Saw?
In the Saw, where it takes place, which is it's in a city.
What city? I don't think so.
Maybe at the zoo.
It's a pretty dingy looking city. I don't know if they have
yeah, true.
a zoo.
Speaking of which, Bridger 5 regular jaw predator trap is only $32.99 at Cabela's.
What?
That was a Rob ad.
I was confused about that.
Bridger 5 regular jaw predator trap, $32.99 for all you fur bearers out there.
Fur bearers, that has a different meaning nowadays.
Oh, all right. So yeah, there's a bear trap reverse wise.
Oh my god.
So yeah, he sees the testimony of Amanda, um, and it's revealed that she was forced to kill and disembowel her cellmate to retrieve the key to her freedom, which was in fact the key to her reverse bear trap, and she only had 60 seconds.
Yeah, she had to not just kill this dude. Like it was like wow. Because her room she was on the chair. She heard the timer go off, thinking the video of the puppet,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Puppet, whose name is Billy, by the way.
Well,
His official name is Billy because I mean I keep asking my girlfriend because I found one at an antique store.
nice.
It's a life size. No,
On the trike and everything.
no,
Or is it just the?
that's just
It was
the
just
doll.
him. Oh my god!
And I want to get it. I want to put it.
How much is it?
I don't remember. You can buy them like online too,
Yeah.
but I want to get it. And whatever apartment we go to, I want to put it by the door.
Yes. Yes.
She won't let me do it.
What? It has to. It has to sit at the inside cat corner. You know, you and I are both thinking the same damn thing, dude. Hell yeah. That is awesome. Dude, yeah, definitely gotta do that.
Just buy it. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, please.
Yes, yes. Shout out to Hoovy's better half. Let's help him make that happen, okay? He doesn't ask for a lot. Come on. Is it too much to ask for a
Any other yet, but
I just want Billy.
I just want
Billy. Good there to greet you.
He holds my keys.
I want to play a game. Which one of these keys is the key to your car?
The one that's a Chevy.
Shit, you win. Game over.
Game over.
Game over. So yeah, she had to disembowel the man to take the key out to take off the reverse bear trap.
And that dude was still alive.
Yeah, he was still alive. She thought he was dead, but it turned out that he was given like an opiate overdose. So
Yeah.
that way it would make it seem like he was awake, but he couldn't really feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't move or nothing. After they released Gordon, Detective Tapp and his partner, they find Jigsaw's warehouse using the videotape that they obtained from the trap that Amanda survived in. So there, they apprehend Jigsaw.
Don't they? Before that, don't they? They talked about another trap.
Oh yes,
About
that's
the
right.
razor wire.
There was yes, how they were taught. The reason why it was okay, so it was at that site where they found the pen light
Yeah.
of Dr. Gordon's. There was a man that was it's not. I forget exactly what he did because all it is in this one is it's not. The game is already like done.
Yeah.
It's just them two.
Yeah. Because they just go because what the trap was some dude had to crawl through barbed wire, razor wire,
Razor wire. Yeah.
in like a certain amount of time before the trap door
Closed forever. Yeah.
closes and locks forever.
And he pretty much cut and killed himself.
Yeah, he got killed by it. I mean, yeah.
And they said that pretty much like he was almost freed. It was only because his stomach acid had eaten through like some of the shit that was underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. And then that's where they also learned that he takes like the puzzle piece of them.
That's what.
takes
Yeah,
the
it's
puzzle
the
piece
same.
off.
So he took the puzzle piece of their skin.
Which gives him the nickname Jigsaw Killer. Jigsaw Killer doesn't refer to himself as Jigsaw. The police do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they figure out where the warehouse is.
So it's some like really avant-garde thing.
Huh?
Is it like some like really like obscure like fire? I know that fire.
Oh yeah,
escape or something like that.
no, there was another victim, where he was doused in like a flammable liquid,
Yeah.
and he was in a room with numbers painted all over,
Yeah.
and he had a single candle to
Oh,
find the combination to his escape,
jeez.
and he had to do it before a certain time. But of course, he dropped the candle, and it caught himself on fire, and he did not win.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So they find. Yeah. That's how they found his
His
hideout. It's an
warehouse.
abandoned mannequin factory,
Yeah.
which isn't. I hate mannequins.
Halloween 2018.
I hate mannequins.
Do you hate mannequins as much as Laurie Strode?
I know. I hate that trope in horror movies and horror games where it's like when something you look away from some.
Oh yeah. Mannequin.
I have to show you the video when we're done. It's a video of something playing the horror game and it's like something like that, and like it's just like this thing's coming up the stairs,
Yeah.
and the thing like he like turns the camera and you see one like behind him for like a second, and you just pause it real quick. I have to try to find it. It's funny so.
Oh, where he like sees the one and then he like goes to back up, and
Yeah.
then like you see like something behind him, and then he just like closes the game out or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
So that's me. That's basically me.
Nope, 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 nope.
For real.
So they head to the warehouse where they discover like the control center with like the video like surveillance tape, like the
Mhm.
surveillance videos, and then another man that's stuck in a trap.
Yeah, this is like a test trap.
Yes.
Yeah, because the detective, really they're stupid around. They see like stuff covered up,
Mm-hmm.
and they open up the one. Take off the one, and it's a puppet.
Yep.
Just a puppet. But
The other one is a diorama of the cell.
yeah, of the cell of where they're at now,
Yeah.
and then another one is the dude in a trap
Mm-hmm.
that he's working on. Then
They accidentally set the trap off.
yeah, it's just like, oh.
But then they realize that Jigsaw's coming or whatever, so then they quick cover him back up,
Yeah,
and they're like hiding, and then Jigsaw comes in a robe. You still don't see him, and he like tells like the test subject like, "Oh, you relax, like you're not like the other test subjects or something like that." And before he can finish the sentence, then they jump out of their hiding places and try to apprehend him.
oh, that's yeah, because they see him, then they cover him up,
Yep,
and then he runs away. Then he activates the trap.
yep. And then so then what happens is, um, as as Sing's trying to save the guy from the trap, Tap and Jigsaw get into like a scuffle, and Jigsaw's like down on all fours, and Jigsaw's just like, I'm sick. Like he's just like, you're right, I am sick. I'm sick of this. I'm sick with this of dying with this sickness that's inside of me. And he's just like, I'm sick of everything,
Mhm.
and he's just like sick of it all, and fucking slices Tab like in the throat, but
Yeah.
like doesn't like, it's not like enough to like, he like stabs him, he like re-slices his throat where it was already cut,
Yeah.
and then while that happens, Jigsaw gets up and runs, and Sing, his partner, like starts running after Jigsaw,
Hmm.
and then while he's pursuing Jigsaw, he trips over. Well, Sing's shooting at him with like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Uh,
I remember seeing this.
And then like it makes like Jigsaw falls
Yeah.
because like it makes it look like he got hit by a shotgun shell.
Weird.
The guy got shot by a shotgun shell, and then like he falls over, but then he is laying down, and Detective Singh is like walking like toward him, and you realize that as he's walking toward him, like he's setting off a trap.
No, you think there would be booby traps and a guy who makes booby traps?
Yeah, and he hits this fishing line, and it pulls the trigger of like
It's like 4 shotguns.
yeah, four double barrel shotguns pointed at his head,
Just remember.
and boom,
Remember
triggers a
seeing that.
shotgun trap, and he's killed.
I remember watching it, I'm like, I was visiting, like, I was with my girlfriend. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude, that was nuts. Yeah, I always forget about that kill.
I was like, oh my god.
And then it goes back to the present, where with Dr. Lawrence's wife and daughter,
Yes.
and they're being held captive at their apartment while the captor watches Adam and Gordon through a hidden camera.
Yeah.
And then the house is also simultaneously being watched by Detective Tapp, who, after being discharged from the police following Singh's death,
hmm
he's pretty much become obsessed with the Jigsaw case, and,
Yeah.
and remains convinced that Gordon is the killer.
Yeah, because he wants to get revenge on.
He wants revenge for the death of his partner.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, Dr. Gordon finds the box, that tin box, in the hole behind the wall, where the X marks the spot on the back of the photograph that Adam finds in Dr. Lawrence's wallet that has the picture of his kidnapped family.
Yeah.
And when he says turn off the lights, he turns off the lights and there's a glowing X on the wall next to Lawrence. And he breaks through the tile and finds a lockbox. And then he says to Adam, where's the key that was in my envelope from earlier? And so Adam tosses it to him, and he's able to open up the lockbox, and he finds 2 cigarettes.
Yeah, 2 cigarettes and one-way cell phone.
And a lighter.
A lighter, yeah.
And then that's when he's like, wait a minute, I can remember. And he starts remembering his abduction in the parking lot.
Remember?
By a pig masked figure.
Yeah, this. Another thing, like, with my girlfriend. Okay. She's the one who wanted me to watch this movie with her, because she's already seen it.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was just like, maybe she was terrified.
Oh, yeah.
Even though she's already seen it before me, she literally didn't want to go home that day. She's like, all I can think of it is the pig mask.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, well, I gotta go to work next day.
Well, yeah, that scene where, like, when Lawrence is, like, recounting, like, how he was abducted.
Yeah, that's just reminding me of it.
Yeah, and you see, like, the door open and he gets out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, he's just crawling on all fours, like, behind him. It's like some Poughkeepsie shit. So...
Yeah, one of these. My girlfriend wants to come on the show, so...
What's that?
My girlfriend doesn't want to come on the show one of these.
Hell yeah, that'd be cool.
So, stay tuned.
Post show.
My
Post show.
girlfriend.
Hell yeah, dude. So, with the cigarettes, the lighter, and a cell phone, he starts recounting his abduction.
It's like a party.
Yeah, he's got 2 cigarettes, a lighter, a cell phone, man. He's ready to hook this party up. And while he's able to, while Gordon was able to recollect what had happened to him, Adam starts remembering his own abduction. When he returned home to his dark room to find a puppet where he would keep photos of Gordon.
Yeah.
And Allison, the other guy that's Jigsaw, so Jigsaw work is being held at Jigsaw killer is holding Allison at gunpoint to call her husband and to tell him not to believe Adam, and that Adam knew who he was before they met tonight.
Yeah.
And Adam admits to Gordon that he was paid by Detective Tapp to pretty much like follow him, and reveals that he knows of Dr. Gordon's affair with one of his medical students who he'd visited the night he was abducted.
Yes.
Gordon pretty much comes to the realization that the affair is the reason why he's being tested. And then Adam finds a photo of Allison and Diana's captor, whom Gordon identifies as Zepp from the flashback
Yes.
as the hospital orderly.
Yeah, he's that creepy dude.
Yeah. When he was when Dr. Gordon was talking about John Kramer, and Zepp was like, he's a really interesting patient. His name's John Kramer.
That's a red flag immediately.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so once they come to this realization, Adam looks at the clock, and they both realize that it's literally 30 seconds until 6 o'clock, until the time's up.
That's right, and they have to come out with a plan of how to. Which the plan I thought was gonna work.
Yeah.
It was pretty smart. What they devised was he wanted. They were gonna smoke a cigarette, but they're gonna have the dude dip the one in blood.
Yeah, so he dipped the one in blood so he could write him a note.
Yeah.
And because there was a note inside the lockbox that pretty much said to him, like, you don't have to think about it. You don't need a gun to kill Adam.
Yeah.
So he turns off the light because they know that they're being watched, but turns off the light and pretty much tries and whispers to Adam hey, you need to pretend that this cigarette's poison, and this will work. I have to kill you to save my family. And so the killer turns they turn the light back on. The killer watching him was just like, the fuck is that? And Adam's just like, yeah, sure, I'll take a cigarette. Lights it up, and I even wrote it down in my notes that he is horrible acting. How did I write that? Horrible acting.
Find where it's at. On page 40.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm way behind. Man. I am not acting. Yeah. I am not acting, Animal 5. Adam is a horrible actor at acting to act. He's acting.
Yeah.
Adam is a very horrible actor at acting to act like he's acting to act of choking to death.
Yeah, I couldn't tell where the horrible acting started and where the horrible acting ended. So yeah, he makes it seem like he took a puff of the poisoned cigarette and feigns that he is killed. And he's just laying there, and Lawrence is screaming at the camera okay, he's dead, I killed him, what about my family?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you just hear this zzz,
I know.
And fucking Adam gets jolted awake by the chains on them, which turned out to be electrified.
Yeah.
And Adam is not dead. And the killer's pretty much hey, nice try, motherfucker. Valiant effort. I do have to, yeah, I agree. It was a valiant effort.
Yeah. Then Adam starts to remember how he was abducted. You just talked about that stuff.
Yeah. He found the photo, and then he realizes that Zepp. So Zepp, seeing that Gordon has still not killed Adam because the cigarette was not poisoned, he moves in to murder the doctor's wife and daughter, but the wife freed herself and fights him.
Yeah.
And the struggle attracts the detective's attention because he's still watching from across the street. And he arrives in time to save Allison and Diana before chasing Zepp to the sewers, where he's shot in the chest after a brief fight.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon, only aware of the gunshots and screaming, is shocked and loses reach of the cell phone.
Yeah.
So in his desperation, because the phone's ringing and he can't reach it, he wants to answer it. So he's just you know what? Fuck it. I have to do this. It's kill or be killed. So
Yeah.
in his desperation, he starts cutting his foot off, and
Yeah.
Adam's just like, no,
The famous scene where he starts to um sorry, I got a text. Starts to cut his foot off.
Yep.
It's like, yep, and that happens. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
He starts sawing his foot
Yeah,
off.
so he starts sawing his foot off, and then when he finally gets it,
He gets to the phone.
he gets to the gun.
Yeah, he gets to the gun because the phone stopped ringing.
Yeah. And he finally killed Adam.
And he shoots at him. Yep. He grabs the gun out of the corpse's revolver, finds that it has one bullet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a revolver. Shoots Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And
then after he shoots Adam, like Adam's just laying there dead, and he's laying there like Lawrence is laying there crying. And Sepp opens the bathroom to kill Gordon.
Yeah.
But Adam, having survived the gunshot, comes back and bludgeons fucking Zepp to death with the toilet lid.
Yeah.
The toilet tank lid, solid porcelain.
Yeah.
And then Gordon promises Adam, like, he's like, I gotta find you help. He's like, I'll be back. I'll send somebody for help.
I'm gonna find you help.
Yeah, I'm gonna find you help. So Gordon's crawling out of the bathroom to find help while Adam searches Zepp's body for a key. And then that's when he finds another tape.
Mm-hmm.
And the tape reveals that Zepp was just another victim of Jigsaw, following rules to obtain an antidote for a slow-acting poison that was in his own body. And as that tape's playing and it's taking you back through all these things that led up to this moment, I still love it. It gives me goosebumps every time. But the corpse in the middle of the room gets up.
Yeah, it just gets up.
And he's just like on all fours, like stretching, like getting up from like a nice long nap.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be John Kramer.
Yep, the actual Jigsaw killer.
And he tells Adam that the key to his ankle chain was in the bathtub, and it went down the drain when Adam had first woken and drained the water.
Yeah. The very first shot you see in this movie.
Yep, the very first shot was his key going down the drain.
You're like, oh my god. And then he does that thing. He gets out. And, he like does all his monologue and shit. And Adam's like freaking out and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
he goes to shoot him.
He goes to shoot him, but there's no ammo.
Well, that and then fucking Jigsaw just like electrocutes him again.
Yeah, he's just like
zaps him, electrically shots him through those chains, and then exits the bathroom before sealing the door.
Yeah, but it's just like that line he says.
Oh yeah, where he just like has the door and just like game over. And slams the door closed.
Like, oh my god.
And it just goes to black, and all you hear is Adam screaming in the dark.
He's screaming in the dark.
And then it just goes to the credits, man.
Yeah, that's just.
It was like looking back, like it was. I always forget how fun these movies are when you go back and watch them.
Yeah, like, I do want to watch them now that there's more than there's actually. I didn't know there was actually a storyline to them.
Yeah. Everything goes. Yeah. Once you start going through it, then you'll realize.
Excuse me. Yeah, I didn't know there was an actual like. I thought they were just like back to back and just random killings.
Oh no.
I did not know that.
Back. I remember when it was annoying when we were like kids when Saw came out, and the main joke around middle school was just like going around people at lunchtime. Hey, did you see Saw? Hey, did you see Saw? What are you talking about? Hey, did you see Saw? Just messing with them.
Yeah.
People are just like, will you shut the fuck up? Like, let me eat.
Get your new chair.
I know, it's squeaky.
I'm sure the mic picked up all of that.
I gotta oil my spine. They think it's the chair.
He's the Tin Man. Those are my knees after a day of work.
I believe that. But yeah, man. This film was, in my opinion, like what we got in the early 2000s. I think it's one of the better films that we got out of the early 2000s. Cary Elwes as the doctor, as Dr. Gordon. I thought he gave a great performance.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Tobin Bell as the Jigsaw Killer / John Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I honestly, as you go through the series, you'll appreciate him a lot more.
I know. I always.
You'll definitely enjoy him. You get past the body horror and shit, and like the story is great.
That's
like how I got Kate to watch Star Wars, man. I was just like, ignore all the sci-fi shit you don't like, and just watch it for the story.
Picture Saul to Star Wars.
I know that'll never happen anywhere else. You guys chose us. We're here. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our covering of 2004's Saw.
Yep, the very first Saw.
And yeah, we want again. I just want to say thanks to the 72 subscribers that we thankfully have, and the listeners who've given some of our videos over 5,000 to 6,000 like views.
I think our most watched one is I think our episode for
it's either I think it's the final chapter, or I think it's when we cover Jason Lives.
It's Jason Lives. It has 2.4 thousand views.
Damn.
I lied. That's just in the last 28 days.
Wow. So you hear that, folks? Yeah, we're getting out there, forever reaching. Continue to like and share, subscribe.
It has 7.4 thousand views.
6?
7.
Oh, 7. Wow, that is amazing.
That's in the last year. It's only been out for.
We're almost coming up on a year, Hoovy.
Yep, in May.
We're 2 months out from coming to a 1-year anniversary episode.
I don't know if it would tell me.
What's that?
I don't know if it would tell me exactly when. I don't think it will. It's not later. I think it's like May.
I think it was May, yeah.
It was 9 months ago. It's May, so I don't remember.
But yeah, coming up on 1 year, so we'll have to figure something fun for the 1 year episode.
I mean, hopefully our mics sound better. They should.
Oh yeah.
That was my biggest thing. But now, hopefully, I mean, again, if you have any requests, again, eventually we might branch off horror movies and do some more other stuff. We might not even do movies. We might just do. I mean, our last episode was we did trivia.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We still an episode for you listeners. So out there in our YouTube verse and Spotify land, you will see an addition of 2.
Yes,
2 episodes.
2 episodes in 1 day.
2 episodes in 1 day for your viewing pleasures, for your listening pleasures, so to speak.
Even though we're saying this after these uploads are already happened, but whatever.
Yeah.
We're talking to the past.
We're talking to the past now. All right, are you listening, fuckers?
Brian dropped his phone again.
I did. That was my chair. Drops phone, shits himself. Good night, everybody. No, okay.
So you try to cover up with something obvious. Drop a book.
Boom! That wasn't my butt.
You drop a book and like a second later you freaking past. No, you draw attention to yourself.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for everything.
For sure.
Again, any recommendations for stuff you want us to watch and review?
Yeah.
We really don't review stuff here. Well, we kind of do.
We
synapse it.
Yeah, like we break it down.
I was thinking because we're not really a review channel. We just kind of break it down
and just talk about it.
Joke around with it. Mystery Science Theater, bitch.
Pretty much, yeah. We should totally do a watch along episode.
Eventually, I'd love to do that.
That would be awesome.
I'd love to do an actual Mystery Science Theater esque.
Yeah, that would be great. We
That's
could
on the
totally
bottom.
we could totally look into
Back my
doing
big ass head down there.
that. It should be like character like us, but it'd be like silhouettes of like it's obviously not us, but like it just looks like the silhouette of like a giant like robot or something like that, like something funny. I don't know,
Yeah.
but but there's a lot of stuff that we like to toy around with, and we're ever growing as our viewership is.
Mm-hmm. Again, hopefully, like, I mean, hopefully you guys, I mean, hopefully you get bigger because, I mean, these big mics were these yeah, big mics. These mics were a big upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, let you guys, I mean, let us know what you like. If they, I know they sound better, but like, if they're too much, if they're whatever, just feedback.
Yeah, we would like to hear from you guys to breathe new air into us.
Because
So that way we
eventually, I'd
keep
like
it
to get a
going.
whole like professional setup, which is what I was originally going to go for, but I don't have the money.
Yes. Things do be the prices of everything these days is
I'm
ridiculous.
trying to move out, come to my parents' house.
That's right. Like we said, because of the breaks in between, I mean, life happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reason why we take breaks.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if any time there's a long in between period, we did not forget about you guys. We just are like you. We just have our own shit going on that need to be taken care of. And it's never a bad thing to put you before everything else.
Yes, always take. I've always said this, but always take care of yourself first.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely. So yeah, in closing, I would just like to remind everybody, on behalf of the late great Rob from Final Chapter, Bridger 5 regular jaw predator traps are $32.99 at Cabela's.
Actual thing. Oh yeah, it is. He's looking it up.
So just letting y'all
This is a
know,
weird ad. It's actually not an ad, but
located in Hamburg.
Yeah,
They're not even paying us. Like, I'm just fucking
free
playing.
advertising.
It's the bear trap bit. Rob would be proud.
Maybe I should just there a couple.
It is a great place to go.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yes, this was episode 14 of I Know What You Watched Last Friday. As always, I'm Brian.
I'm John.
Have a good night.
Good night.